Backstage at the 2025 Iowa City Jazz Festival, day number 2. It's Saturday, and it's time, and we got the educational portion of our festival every year. It's the jazz bands from the corridor, up and down the corridor, and Steve Shanley is here, one of the directors of the North Corridor All-Stars, professor at Coe College, leads the jazz program there, also leads the Sierra Muni Band, Municipal Band, among all the other things that Steve's got juggling in the air over there. I was watching last night. Ryan Mitta was here, one of your early students over at Wash.
Yeah, he was in the first jazz band I had there.
Absolutely. What kind of satisfaction do you get seeing your former student like that, like say Ryan Mitta, who's got this great jazz program at Vanderbilt University now, and of course your own daughter Vivian was at Wash for a while, and she's going on to do great things. What kind of satisfaction does that give you?
It's great. For me, I've always loved playing, but the teaching has been what I'm most passionate about. So seeing all different ways that music education can look successful has been rewarding for me. So whether it's someone like Ryan, who goes on to have a great career as a composer, arranger, performer, or even just folks who don't ever touch their instrument again, but are here at the Iowa City Jazz Festival because they just appreciate the music. And to me, both of those things are equally important, because Ryan can't do what he's doing unless there's an audience who wants to come out and support it. And there obviously isn't enough room in the world for everybody who wants to be a performer to be a performer. So it can look a lot of different ways, and I'm just satisfied if they have some sort of love for music, and especially wanting to go support live music after they're done with me.
Talk about your program at Coe. How are things going there, the jazz program?
Things are going great. Looking like it's going to be a great band this upcoming year. I'm very excited with some of the young talent we have coming in, and going to be trying some different things there this year. I've been kind of inspired by my friend Mike McMahon over at North Scott, who started a kind of offshoot of his jazz program where some of the students in the jazz band are also forming a funk band, and with vocalists. And so they performed at the state band conference this last year, and that was just really inspiring for me. And I had known Mike was doing this, and he and I had talked about sharing charts and things like that, but I never got around to actually doing it. And then when I saw his students performing some Jackson 5 and some Amy Winehouse and things like that, I was like, that's super cool. And I have the exact right combination of students to do that sort of thing at Coe College next year. So we're going to try that and see how that goes and just keep evolving.
Nice. Any, you know who the Jazz Summit guest is yet this year?
I do. It's Katie Hickey. She's a wonderful trombone player from the Chicago area.
Okay,
and
great.
She's been in Cedar Rapids a few times, directed one of the All-State Jazz Bands a few years ago, and we've had her as an adjudicator at the Iowa Jazz Championships a couple times as well.
For those who are not familiar with the program here, the North Corridor All-Stars and this whole jazz educational aspect of the Jazz Festival, why don't you bring people up to speed and kind of give us the background on this?
Yeah, well, for decades, the Iowa City group has existed, and before the existence of Liberty High School, the City High and West High groups would get together and assemble a big band just for this particular event. And it was probably close to 15-ish years ago that Brett Messenger and I were talking, and he's like, we need to do something similar for the students from Cedar Falls, Cedar Rapids, that area. So he and I put together a group, and so now we have both the Iowa City groups and then what we call the North Corridor groups sharing the stage. And I'm especially excited because those started as big bands, and they were big bands together for about 10 years, and then the pandemic hit, and we had to go to kind of a more distanced thing and went with the combos. And what the stage crew and the sound crew and basically everybody involved said, that's a lot easier, let's just do this. And so we did the small groups for a while, and that was cool. It was, at least my approach to it was that the students got a little bit more creative input, and we played some of their compositions and things like that, and it was really fun. But also there's really nothing quite like playing in a big band too. And so with Ryan's group playing on Friday this year, the stage was was already going to be more or less set up to accommodate a big band, so we thought it would make sense to resurrect the big bands this year. And we're very excited to do that, listening to the Iowa City group right now, and they sound fabulous, and we're excited to hit the stage in a bit ourselves.
Talk a little bit about how you choose the players in the band, and maybe name, I don't know, you probably can't name them all at this point, but maybe some of the...
Yeah, no,
you got some of your own students. Well, not your WASH students, of course. But
yeah, no, I think I probably could name them all. Let's see how good I am here. So in the trumpet section, we got Tom and Owen from Linn-Mar, and Liza from Kennedy, Eli from Marion, and Zizi from Washington High School. In the trombone section, we've got Aaron from Marion, Jonathan from Prairie, Dominic from Cedar Falls High School, and Kieran from Kennedy. And then in the saxophone section, we've got Josie from Cedar Falls on lead alto, Caden Messenger on alto from Washington, and we've got Alan from Monticello on tenor, and Jamin from Marion on tenor, Joe from Linn-Mar High School on the Barry sax. And then in the rhythm section, we got Everett from Linn-Mar on piano, Carter on guitar from Linn-Mar, and Ben from Prairie on the drum set. And then Vivian, you see her backstage. She's stepping in last minute. We have a last minute vacancy in the bass section, so she's agreed to fill in for that today. But for those of you listening on the radio, will you confirm that I did all of that with no notes?
You did.
Yes.
I was going to say, look at Steve with the big brain over there, man.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, well, and it's easy because the students were all very memorable. I told them after our rehearsal, we only rehearsed twice. We rehearsed on Tuesday and Thursday, and that's it. And I told them after our rehearsal Thursday that I'd play a gig with any of them anytime. It's a special group. They're really nice, and I'm glad that the rain appears to be holding off and that we're going to be able to perform today because they really deserve it. And the selection of the band is really definitely more of an art than a science. I start by looking at the all-state jazz bands and the 1A, 2A, the 3A, and the 4A all-state jazz bands, those three groups. And anyone in our area who maybe made one of those groups or was alternate sort of gets first dibs. And then from there, director recommendation and just kind of trying to fill them out. And I know most of the students and most of the programs and can reach out and ask them. But very fortunate this year that most of them, on my first ask, all agreed to do it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What are the charts we're listening to today?
So we've got, I was excited to hear the Iowa City group play Riverscape by Fred Sturm. Fred is one of my favorite composers and was a huge influence on me before he passed away. He taught at Lawrence Conservatory up in Wisconsin. Prior to that, he was out at Eastman. And then prior to that was at Lawrence. And I think it's important to keep his music alive, especially here in the Midwest. So we're playing another one of his pretty popular tunes called Chronometry, which is very challenging. I would not undertake that with most honor jazz bands, but I knew that this group would be able to handle it. So Chronometry by Fred Sturm, and then a little arrangement of Ora de Cubitus, or Bedtime, by Charles Mingus. We're going to close our performance with that, opening up with a Sammy Nestico tune to feature Ben on the drum set, and then arrangement Mike Conrad did. Mike's going to be on the main stage here a little bit later, and so I asked him if he had a chart that he wanted us to maybe play to kind of help get the crowd excited for his arrival, and he had a nice arrangement of Soul Station, an old Hank Mobley tune that the students really like playing as well, and a couple others in there to fill some things out too. Sack of Woe from Cannonball Adderley, and let me think, John Ellis, Happy, and I might be missing one or two at this point, but yeah, that's
Didn't
the
Mike
bulk
do
of
a
it.
whole program of Hank Mobley? He did like a program of Hank Mobley things some years ago.
He did. I'm not sure. That's ringing a bell.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the municipal band. Did you play for the holiday this weekend?
We did the first of our two patriotic concerts on Wednesday, and we'll have the other one tomorrow night at McGrath Amphitheater. So as soon as everybody's done with BYO Brass here, they can head up to the McGrath Amphitheater in Cedar Rapids classes and finish the patriotic holiday weekend in style. And we've got the Cedar Rapids Concert Chorale joining us.
Oh,
and
nice.
this year, I'm particularly excited because a history colleague of mine in the department at Coe College, she discovered a piece from World War I, a song for piano and voice that some Cedar Rapidians wrote.
Oh, really?
And it was never on my radar, and as far as I know, not on anyone's radar. And she said, hey, check this out. I found this in the Library of Congress. And so I arranged that for the concert chorale to sing.
Cool.
It's called Back Your Boy, very patriotic, and and then I wrote some band parts for the band to play along. So we'll do that as well as the Armed Forces medley and the Stars and Stripes Forever, America the Beautiful, Battle Hymn of the Republic, all the stuff you like. And also this year, you get to sing Sweet Caroline with us if you're in the audience and you would like to be an honorary member of. Yep. And we did that on Wednesday. That was a great hit.
Oh,
Everybody
sure.
loved it.
It always
so,
is.
Always a fun concert, so encourage people to come out and check
that season
out.
runs through mid-August?
Beginning of August.
Beginning of August.
Yeah, beginning of August. So we are in week 5 right now, and we have 9 total weeks.
Great.
Yeah.
They always sound great.
Well,
you do a
thank
great
you.
job with that band.
Thank you so much.
Anything else you'd like to talk about that you're doing this summer, or then right back into school again?
No, that's basically about it. And right now, I'm kind of having the band director thing of I'm just need to go over to the tent and make sure all the students are here, and I can hand out set lists and stuff.
Well, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes out, Steve. And,
my pleasure. Thank you all for supporting
Steve
this.
Shanley, and going to be doing the North Quarter All-Stars here in just a few minutes. Thank you, Steve.
Very good. Thank you.
You bet.